Good morning to all. In today's class, once again, very quickly, first of all, we will recap the circular waveguide, and we will derive once again the derivation of the TE field components in a TE wave in a circular waveguide. We will also see today the boundary conditions and the final field components in a TE mode and in a TM mode. So as you all know that in a circular waveguide, the name itself suggests is having a shape of the circular. So here we have used the circular waveguide with the radius, inner radius of the variable a, while the total length of this circular waveguide is z, for example. Then here for obtaining the field component of the TE waves in a circular waveguide, here we have used the cylindrical coordinate systems. So here the waveguide is expressed in terms of the cylindrical coordinate systems, uh, as you can see in this figure. So here the radius is a, length is z, and if I will take the projection, then I will get also the tangential component part, that is nothing but the phi. So now all we know that here this radius uh, let me once again give you the another variable, that is nothing but the rho. Then the rho uh, can have the values from 0 to maximum a, while all of you aware that this phi can have the values in the range of 0 to 2 pi, and the length z can be the maximum z. So for obtaining the TE and TEM wave in a circular waveguide, we have to use the first of all the general Maxwell's equations. So all of you aware that we are looking for the either Ez component or the Hz component. So here this is our general wave equations, that is nothing but the del square Ez, that is equal to gamma square Ez, and same way del square Hz, and that is nothing but equal to gamma square Hz. So for
Hello,
obtaining the
sir.
yes, hello,
સર સ્ક્રીન ફ્લિપ થઈ ગઈ છે.
ફરીથી ક્લિક થઈ ગઈ છે હવે હવે hello,
નો સર.
હવે
યસ સર. નહીં નહીં, પહેલા બરોબર હતું.
અત્યારે આ નથી બરોબર
હજી
ને
ફ્લિપ છે. હું ના સર.
હા
હા યસ સર, યસ સર.
okay. So now for obtaining the various field component uh, of this electric and magnetic field, here particularly for the, I can say that for the cylindrical coordinate system, we are looking for that, for example uh, for the TE or TM waves, then we may also have to obtain not only this EZ and HZ, but we should also go for E phi, we should also go for E rho, we should also go for H rho, and then H phi. So these expressions can be obtained by using the cylindrical coordinate systems and using the Maxwell's curl equations. So this part we have already covered. So I'm directly writing that if we will use the Maxwell equations, then we will get the E rho component as nothing but the gamma by kc square del Ez by del rho. So it is nothing but simply I am writing the expressions in terms of the cylindrical coordinate systems. So that is nothing but the j omega mu by kc square 1 over rho and del hz by del phi. So this is our one of the E row component. The next component is E phi, which is nothing but the minus gamma. Sorry, here also there is a minus. So minus gamma by kc square, then 1 over rho del Ez by del phi plus j omega mu by kc square del hz by del rho. Same way, the h rho component can be expressed as the j omega epsilon by kc square 1 over rho del Ez by del phi minus gamma by kc square del h z by del rho. So this is our I can say if this one is your first expression, this one is your second expression, then this one is third, fourth, fifth, and the last is nothing but the h phi. So please this same thing we have derived in our rectangular coordinate system. So same way, if you use simple Maxwell equations and use the call operations, then you will get this all these major component in this lesson. So I hope that all of you will get, and if you will not get, then please uh, please send me your difficulties. I will try to solve the same part too. So minus j omega epsilon kc square del Ez by del rho minus gamma by kc square del hz by del phi. So in short, the component that we are looking for, the TE and TM waves, are nothing but the EZ, HZ, and then E rho, E phi, H phi, and H rho. So for obtaining this field component in terms of the circular waveguide, and particularly for the TE and TM waves, so let me first uh, give you the idea that here for the TE wave in circular waveguide, we can obtain that these components in a TE wave can be derived as so first of all, what we have to do, we have to derive the derivation of the these TE components of a in a TE wave. So what we will do, so first of all we will try to see the derivation part. So derivation of a TE field components of a TE wave in a circular waveguide. So the idea is what? That we are looking for the for a TE wave. All of you know that we are trying to find out the is for a TE wave. We all know that here Ez component will be 0, and we are trying to find out that h of z. So h of z is not 0. So now for the TE particularly case, first of all we have to find out this h of z component. So what is this h of z? So for obtaining this h of z, the wave equations, this expression number 2 that we have to use. So we have to start with this second number equations, and then we have to obtain the final h of z. So for this case, as you know that for the cylindrical coordinate systems, so del square hz can be expressed as nothing but the del square h of z by del rho square plus 1 over rho mm, del hz by del rho plus 1 over rho square del square h of z by del phi square plus del square h of z by del z square, and that is nothing but equal to, I can say that here del square h of z we all know, and that is nothing but equal to, I can say that the gamma square uh, gamma square h of z, and we also know that we can equally represent as a minus omega square mu epsilon into h of z. So if I will put the same expression, so everything this is equal to now the minus omega square mu epsilon h of z. So now if I will try to solve this expression, so before that what I will do that I know that this 1 over this del square by del z square, we already know that it is an operator, and it is nothing but uh, I can write as equivalent to the gamma square. So gamma square, I can say that it is just a operator, and it is I can express as a, we will see that this is nothing but our regular propagation constant. So if I will use these expressions here in this our equation number 7, then the same expressions can be written as del square h of z by del rho square plus 1 over rho del h z by del rho plus 1 over rho square, and now del square h z by del phi square. Now del square by del z square I am replacing with this gamma square, and I will make it this side in our right side, sorry, left side. Then this term will become gamma square, and then plus omega square mu epsilon, and because in both of these case the h of z is common, so it will become h of z, and that is equal to 0. So now this is our expression number 8. So now all of you aware that this gamma square plus omega square mu epsilon is nothing but our cutoff wave number. So I can directly express that this gamma square plus omega square mu epsilon is nothing but our kc square. Okay, so I can directly now replace this part, or I can write in this fashion that now the next expressions I can express is del square h of z by del rho square plus 1 over rho del h of z by del rho plus 1 over rho square del square h of z by del phi square, plus now I can write directly kc square h of z, and that is nothing but equal to 0. So now I now introduce now our cutoff wave number. So here now we have to solve this expression. So this is nothing but one kind of the partial differentiation equations. To solve this partial differential equations, we can use the method, and that is considered as a variable separation method. Variable separation method. So in this method, what will happen? Here you can see that now there are two variable, and if we can find out the solution of that two variable, then here the one part is nothing but the rho, and one part is nothing but the phi. So I can write that the solution of this h of z is nothing but, for example, the two functions. One function is considered as a one variable is nothing but the p, and another variable is the q. Then this p is a function of, I can say, function of, for example, rho only, while the q is nothing but the function of I can say that it is a function of pi only. So what does it mean? It means that if we can find out this p variable and q variable, then if we will multiply that result of this p and q, then we will get ultimately the h of z. So let us now substitute this h of z, this pq, in our these expressions. Then I can write like in this way that the let del square pq by del rho square plus 1 over rho del pq by del rho plus 1 over rho square del square. Now PQ by del phi square, that is nothing but equal to AC square h of जोड़ दीजिए क्या PQ, sorry, so PQ that is nothing but equal to 0. 1 minute, hold on, I have a one call. So sorry for the disturbance. So now if I will solve this part, then I can write that I'm not solving, but if you try to solve this part, then you will see that because uh, here I can write the same expression as q d square p by d rho square plus q by rho dp by d rho plus p by rho square d square q by d phi square, and that is nothing but equal to kc square pq, and that is nothing but equal to 0. So I think it's a simple algebra that has been applied so that you will get the expressions. So now what will happen? So I am multiplying this. Now what I will do that I will multiplying this term rho square by PQ. So multiplying in expression number, for example, this is your 10 and this one is 11. So I multiply this rho square by PQ to this equation number 11. Then I will get the final expression as a rho square by P d square P by d rho square plus uh, rho by P dp by d rho plus 1 over q d square q by d phi square plus kc square and rho square, and that is equal to 0. So now I have a such a expressions where I can once again introduce one more term. So let I add, because I what I have to do, I have to separate out these p and q terms so that I can find out the ultimate solution of that p and q. So that's why I have done the above exercise. So here for the same case, what I will do that let I introduce that now 1 over q d square q over this d phi square. I will put it as a sum of constant where minus n square. So here I use this n is nothing but our some constant, suppose. Okay, so what will happen now that now the same expression, because now I know that 1 over q over d square q by d phi square is nothing but some constant, then the expressions can be written as a rho square by p d square p by d rho square plus rho by p dp by d rho plus rho sorry kc square rho square minus n square, and that is nothing but equal to 0. So I can see that now I got the expressions which is nothing but having a now the only the variable p. So let me simplify once again. This expressions is in such a way that it looks like a some very well known functions. So what I do, so if I will once again multiply by p, this expression number, for example 13 by p, then what will happen now, this will become like a rho square del square d square p by d rho square plus rho dp by d rho plus ac square rho square minus n square and p that is equal to 0. So what will happen now, you can see that now you have such a expressions which is similar to the very well known mathematical function, and it is called the Bessel function. One minute, once again I have to take it you on. So yes, so what I just want to convey now, that now it is nothing but it is very similar to our Bessel function. So what was the Bessel function? So all of you know that in your maths class it is nothing but the x square d square y by dx square plus x dy by dx plus x square minus n square y, and that is nothing but equal to 0. So now you can compare this equation number 14 and 15. Then you can see that now it is similar to this Bessel functions. So equation number 14 is similar to the Bessel function. So it means that now the solution of this Bessel function, all of you aware that nothing but the here the function solution is nothing but the y, and y is nothing but the cn Jn of x. Okay, where all of you know that this Jn of x represent the nth order, present nth order. So it means that now somehow you have to find out the solution of this equation number 40 using a Bessel functions. So how to do that part? So for that case, now uh, let me write that the Bayesian function, I think all of you, those who have not studied, please go through the mathematics class once again and see that the Bayesian function is a I can say that is a of the first kind, and here this function 15 for particularly the Cn you consider as a constant term. So I can now get the similar things from our 14 expression, so that I can write that now the modified representation of the Bessel functions is in this way. So rho h whole square d square p, sorry, kc So rho kc whole square del square d square p d rho kc whole square plus rho kc dp by d. I can say that the rho kc plus rho square kc square minus n square p, that is nothing but equal to 0. So what I did simply, one thing that I have add here, this kc term in these expressions, so that I can represent and I can compare the Bessel function, compare with the Bessel function. So I can say that now here from this equation number 14 and 15 and this 16, if you compare, you will see that now P is nothing but our Cn, Jn and rho Kc. So by simply comparing this, because the if the solution of the 15 is nothing but our this expressions, okay, then same way I can argue that for the solution of the 16 is nothing but the P, which is nothing but the some constant and some Jn functions, which is nothing but our nth order Bessel functions of the first kind. So I now have the P is nothing but Cn, Jn, rho, Kc, and now we already know. So this is what our one of the functions and its solutions. Now we are looking for the second part. So second part, all of you aware that we have seen that 1 over q. We have already defined that 1 over q d square q by d phi square is nothing but 1 minute. Hold on. Sorry once again for disturbing. So now we already know that 1 over q d square q by d phi square is nothing but our minus n square. So this is also the one kind of the differential equation. So we can have the solution of this q part is nothing but, so let me write, this one is our 17th, this one is our 18th. And the solution of this 18th equation is nothing but the q, that is nothing but our simple differential wave equation. So it having a some cos function and cos and sine function. So cos and phi plus bn sine and phi. So similarly, I can write also the same expressions in terms of some quadrature way also. So a n square plus bn square and square root and cos and phi minus tan inverse bn by an. So what does it mean? So it means that now we have the solution of this p function and q function too. So ultimately our objective was to find out the h of z. So h of z was nothing but the p multiplied by q, and we know that now it is nothing but equal to P is nothing but our Cn, Jn, rho Kc, and Q is nothing but now our square root of this n square plus Bn square and multiply by this cos n phi minus tan inverse Bn by n. So ultimately, this is what your h of z, but I can still simplify these expressions. So the simplification is like that, here this n phi is always be very, very larger than this tan inverse of this Bn by an. So I can say that this all this term, I can add the new variable Cn prime, that is nothing but equal to this n square plus Bn square and its whole square root. So if I will use this uh, to expressions, then h of z will become like a Cn, then Cn prime Jn rho Kc, and then cos and phi only. Okay, so with this I can say that now still I can add one more variable, and that is nothing but the, for example, C0. So C0 is nothing but the Cn into Cn prime, for example. So C0 Jn rho Kc, cos and phi. So this is your final expressions for the TE wave and for the circular waveguide. So I can say that now the sinusoidal variation along the z-axis can be expressed as h of z, that is nothing but our C0 Bessel function Jn rho Kc and cos and phi. You have to multiply with the e raised to minus j beta g z, for example, or e raised to minus gamma z. So this is what your ultimate sinusoidal variations expression of the h of z in a TE wave in a circular wave guide. So last time also I have tried to explain the same, but I think I was in a slightly hurry mode, so you might not get the clear idea. So I think I should recap the same thing. So I try to make it the revision of these derivations. Now the next part, and that is also very crucial, because we are not only interested in only the Ez component. As I mentioned that we are also looking for the E rho, E phi, H rho and H phi component too. And for that case, we have to use some boundary condition. So if you will use the boundary condition, then you will see that particularly I can say that at rho equal to A, it means that for example, this pen is your circular waveguide. You consider that this pen is your circular waveguide. Then here what will happen, the tangential part of this tangential part of this E phi component at a outer surface, so rho equal to A will always be equal to 0 for all value of that 0 to 2 pi. So I can write that for rho equal to A, I will get E phi equal to 0 for all values of 0 to 2 pi. So I can write now that we know that our E phi component was nothing but the last time we in our very early stage I have written that the E phi was nothing but the j omega mu by kc square del h of z by del row. So the component will become in this fashion. So if here you can see that now I know that for this condition where row equal to a, I have a if I equal to 0, then I can see that this will become del h shared by del row. That will be equal to 0 at row equal to a. So ultimately I will get that uh, if for this boundary condition where rho equal to a, del h of z by del rho is equal to 0, then here we will get the function's value, because if this is the case, it is 0, then jn uh, because we are looking for the row, but row is equivalent to, so for example, row kc, jn row kc, but we are looking for the row equal to a. So jn at a and kc, that will become equal to 0. So ultimately you will get at this boundary condition jn akc, you will get 0. So this is what I can say, that for Bessel functions, if rho is equal to 0, then the Bessel functions values at this point will always be equal to 0. So let me now for solving this part, let me now introduce some another parameter, and that is very crucial. So here I am introducing that in this fashion, that uh, let I introduce that this uh, AC into A is nothing but some P prime and M, for example. Okay, so here I use one another variable that is actually representing that that is nothing but I introduce that here in this Bessel functions, the root of these uh, equations will become p n prime m, so whose eigenvalues are nothing but I can say that it is nothing but equal to kc into a. So if I noted that so let me write here. So the prime actually denotes, this prime actually denotes the differentiation with respect to AH. So what will happen that now I have introduced this uh, one more variable, and that is nothing but our Pn m prime. So the mth root, I can write the mth root of this equation is denoted by P prime and M. So ultimately, the idea is what that this P and M prime is nothing but the mth root of this above equations. So whose I can say that whose eigenvalue values are given by P prime and M, and that is nothing but equal to Kc into A. So this is for our TE wave only. So let me clear, this is for the TE wave. So I can write that now Kc is nothing but our P and prime and M by the A. So I can write now the same h of z in terms of this uh, prime expressions. So h of z will become once again C0 Jn P prime and M by A into rho cos n phi e raised to minus gamma z. So now you can see that simply I have replaced that cutoff number Kc is equivalent to P prime Nm by A. So this is what I can say that these expressions actually express all the possible value of the h of z for the TE-Mn waves in a circular waveguide. So I can say that this Jn function is actually is a oscillating function because of the Bessel function. So this prime is nothing but also because if Jn function is an oscillating function, then by obvious that Jn in bracket that P prime Nm of that A into rho is also a oscillating function. So what will happen for different value of this Pn m prime value, I can denote as, so what will happen, let Pnm prime by uh, uh, values for the TEMN modes in circular waveguide like this way. What will happen? So ultimately the idea is what that you should look for such a value of the m and n which satisfied that at that point this function jn p n m prime by a into uh, rho should be equal to 0. So we are trying to find out such a point at which these conditions satisfied, then that can be possible for the different value of the m and n. So for a different value of the m and n, I can write that in this way, that let if you have a m equal to 1 and n equal to 0, for example m equal to 2, m equal to 3, so any number you can do the higher number 2, so 0 1 2 for example. So what will happen, so here you will find that for this particular case where m equal to 1 and n equal to 0, this prime oscillating functions value that you have to do mathematics, but I am directly writing these numbers because these numbers actually very fixed numbers. So these numbers are, for example, 3.832 here it is 1.841. Similarly you have some numbers, so these numbers actually express that for the TEMN mode for a circular waveguide, if this oscillating functions has to be 0. So for that case only, it's not that the all possible p n prime value you will get the TEMN modes. So there are some permissible values that can only satisfy these oscillating functions, these Bessel functions, and hence uh, here you will say that here for particular value of this PNM prime by A, and for that particular value is nothing but, for example, here for I can say that for TE11 the Pn prime Nm value is nothing but 1.841. So I can say that whenever in TE11 circular mode, then the permissible prime value for that mode is nothing but the 1.841. So this way you have to take care that there are not all possible PN m prime values exist, there are some certain numbers that only satisfy this boundary condition, and hence you will get that particular mode. So here અહીંયા એમ કહી શકાય કે તમને કોઈ પર્ટિક્યુલર મોડ, ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ હું તમને કહું કે તમારે 10 મોડ એક્ઝિસ્ટ કરવો હોય સર્ક્યુલર વેવગાઇડની અંદર, તો જે આ પીએન પ્રાઇમ નંબર છે એમનો નંબર તમારે 3.832 સેટ કરવો પડે. અને you can see that it means what, that it is directly related with the physical dimension of that I can say that સર્ક્યુલર વેવગાઇડ. કેમ કે જે પીએન પ્રાઇમ નંબર છે એ તમને અહીંયા એ ઇન્ટુ કેસી છે, સો એ ઇઝ નથિંગ બટ ડાયરેક્ટલી રિલેટેડ ટુ સમ ફિઝિકલ ડાયમેન્શન્સ. સો રેડિયસ છે, તો તમે જેવું એ રેડિયસને એટલું સેટ કરવું પડે કે જેથી તમે આ નંબર એચીવ કરી શકો. ફોર એક્ઝામ્પલ 1.841 ફોર TE11 મોડ, તો જો એ સેટ થયું હોય તો જ તમે TE11 મોડને એક્સાઇટ કરી શકો ફોર સર્ક્યુલર વેવગાઇડ. સો ધીસ વે હવે જો આપણે આ રીતના આપણને જ્યારે બાઉન્ડ્રી કન્ડિશન પણ યુઝ કરી દીધી હોય અને આપણી પાસે એચ ઓફ ઝેડનું ફંક્શન પણ જ્યારે હવે અવેલેબલ છે, તો તમે બીજા વેરિયેબલ, બીજા પણ કમ્પોનેન્ટને ફાઇન્ડ કરી શકો. તો કરવાનું શું હોય કે જે આપણે અગાઉ જે પહેલાં એક્સપ્રેશન યુઝ કરેલા હતા એની અંદર જો આપણે આ એચ ઓફ ઝેડની વેલ્યુ મૂકી દઈએ તો તમે ઇઝીલી ઈ રો E5 ના કમ્પોનેન્ટ પણ ફાઇન્ડ કરી શકો. ઓકે, સો let me now you can see that now we already have that expressions. So let me give you that page so that you may have the idea. 1 minute, huh? I know that you have a class, but let me complete so that you so we have seen that earlier E row expressions, E5 expressions, H row and H5. So if I will substitute with Kc as a P prime Nm by A, then I will get the final expression as E row will become C0 Jn P prime Nm by A into rho into sine and phi e raised to minus gamma z. Same way, E phi will become C0 Jn prime P and M by A into rho, then cos and phi e raised to minus gamma z. Same way, I will get the Ez will become 0. Then the H rho will become C0 phi by some impedance, and then I will get the Jn prime Pn M by A into rho cos and phi e raised to minus gamma z. Same way, H phi will become C0 phi by z Jn, then P prime Nm by A into rho sine and phi e raised to minus gamma z. Same way, H of z we already know, that is nothing but C0 Jn P prime Nm by A into rho cos and phi e raised to minus gamma z. So this way, you please take care that here Jn ends prime. So prime actually indicates the differentiation. So this is not the direct function, but it is a Bessel function and its derivative. Okay, so here this z actually express the ratio of that E rho by H phi. Okay, so I can say that for the different value of the n equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, and for m equal to, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, you will get the final uh, field component in a TE waves are nothing but these expression, final expressions E rho, E phi, E z, H rho, H phi, and H z. So these are the final field component in a TE wave in a circular waveguide. So same way you can derive the field component for a TM wave. So only thing that you have to take care that now Ez you are looking for and h of z will become 0. You have to use the same procedure that today I have did, and you will get once again the all that components. Okay, so with this I will stop here. I hope that now you have the more idea about the circular waveguide and its derivation of the transverse field component in a TE wave, and you can do same way for the TM wave. So thank you very much.